I still remember the first time I heard Marilyn share her story. It was a fall afternoon in Brooklyn. She was sitting by the window, holding a warm cup of tea, and said slowly, "I used to think that getting older meant accepting the morning fatigue and confusion. I never imagined that just changing breakfast could make the whole day feel so different." Marilyn, 74, has been living alone since her husband passed away a few years ago. Her children live far away, and they video call a few times a week. She still goes to the supermarket by herself, cooks her own meals, and takes care of the backyard garden. But earlier this year, she began to feel a strange shift in her body. Nothing was obviously painful, but she woke up feeling like her head was filled with stone. Her hands slightly shaky, had trouble focusing when reading the paper, and sometimes forgot why she walked into the kitchen. Her mood would swing. Some mornings, even the sound of a car horn outside could irritate her for hours. At the time, she thought it was just aging, something normal, something everyone goes through. She kept her usual routine: wake up, make a cup of black coffee, eat a plain biscuit, turn on the radio, and sit silently at the table. Not because she was hungry, just out of habit. Then one morning, she fainted in the bathroom. There was no serious injury, but it was enough to scare her. The doctor didn't find anything major, but advised her to review her nutrition, especially breakfast. That made her start looking into it more seriously. By chance, she came across a video that said, "Breakfast is the launchpad for seniors' health." That line hit something deep inside her, a hidden fear of losing her independence. So she began to change. Nothing complicated. She swapped the biscuit for cooked oatmeal, added a few banana slices, a handful of walnuts, and replaced the black coffee with unsweetened Greek yogurt. At first, it tasted odd, but she committed to trying it for 3 weeks, just like the video recommended. And by the second week, something strange happened. Her mind felt clearer. The morning haze disappeared. No more forgetfulness. She remembered clearly that on a light rainy day, she put on her coat, walked herself to the local bookstore, and suddenly realized she had forgotten what it felt like to want to lie in bed all day. In the 3rd week, she called her daughter and said, "I feel like I'm 50 again." Her voice was so lively and cheerful that her daughter flew in that weekend just to see her. When she saw her mother slicing fresh fruit, preparing breakfast with a little yogurt and a few almonds, all she could do was smile. "Mom, you really have changed." Since that small shift, Marilyn has kept the habit. Not because she forces herself, but because her body naturally wants it now. She sleeps better, no more tossing and turning, gets less irritated, and most of all, she feels like she's taken back control over her health. Not an elderly person dependent on others, but a senior woman, independent and in charge. If anyone asked her, "Was it worth giving up your usual breakfast?" she would say, "Absolutely, because that's how I got back my clarity, my spirit, and my belief in myself." When Marilyn shared her story, the part that stuck with me wasn't just about changing what she ate. It was a simple question. Why did it take us this long to realize how important mornings really are? A lot of people over 60 live with a belief that sounds reasonable. Skipping breakfast is fine, as long as I eat lunch and dinner. That belief gets repeated so often it becomes a habit, then a default. But you know what? That might not be true, especially as we get older. According to a recent study by the Mayo Clinic, seniors who regularly skip breakfast are 23% more likely to experience depression. Not to mention, their risk of developing type 2 diabetes goes up by 33%, all because the body is forced to operate on empty for too long after waking up. You wake up, you don't eat anything, but you're still asking your body to get to work, cleaning, walking, taking meds, gardening, with no fuel. This isn't about fancy breakfasts or expensive ingredients. No one's asking you to spend a lot or cook for hours. But skipping breakfast means asking your body to fight through the morning without any tools. It's like expecting your car to run smoothly, but forgetting to fill the tank. Skipping breakfast, or eating the wrong things, can trigger a whole chain of issues that many folks blame on getting old. But the truth is, a lot of that is just poor nutrition during the most important time of day. That's why so many people feel tired and slow every morning. Like they just can't get going. Moody, irritable, or unusually down. Unmotivated to move or exercise. Mentally foggy, needing more time to think. plan, or make simple decisions. A nurse in Oregon once told me a story about her father. He was a Navy veteran, strong, disciplined, but at 78, he started having days where he just didn't seem like himself. He kept forgetting where he left his keys. He'd snap at people for no reason. The family thought maybe it was early dementia. But after seeing a nutritionist, they found out he was getting almost no protein in the morning. So they made a small change. A simple breakfast, 1 boiled egg, a slice of whole grain toast, a bit of low-sugar yogurt, a few slices of banana. Just 1 week later, the nurse said, "I saw that spark in my dad's eyes again. It was like he turned back into himself, 5 years younger." That kind of story isn't rare. We often think the answer is more doctor visits, more pills, more yoga, but sometimes, the very first thing we need is just a proper breakfast. Because breakfast isn't just about feeling full. It's how you reboot your whole system, your nerves, your brain, and your emotions, especially at an age when your body's balance can shift so easily. Now you understand why mornings are what I call a golden window for your health. But the real question is, what should you eat? Not every food works well for a body that's changing after 60. This isn't about eating to feel full. It's about eating to stay strong. So let's start with 3 foods that are easy to find, easy to prepare, and, most importantly, they support your heart, your brain, and your digestion. These are the 3 areas we all need to protect every single day after 60. First up, oatmeal. Now I know, oatmeal might sound like that boring stuff you grew up with. But a warm bowl of oats, topped with a splash of unsweetened milk, a few slices of banana or berries, it's one of the most doctor-recommended breakfasts for seniors. Why? Because oats contain a type of fiber called beta-glucan, and this stuff helps clean out the bad cholesterol in your blood, while keeping your blood sugar steady. That's a big deal if you have high blood pressure, diabetes, or cholesterol issues. Think of it this way. When you eat oatmeal, your body doesn't spike and crash the way it does with donuts or sugary cereal. Instead, it gives you steady energy, so you feel alert and focused all morning. And if you've ever struggled with constipation, that fiber in oats gently wakes up your digestive system, no pills needed. Next up, Greek yogurt. And I'm not talking about the sweet, fruity yogurts loaded with sugar. I mean real, plain Greek yogurt, thick, creamy, and packed with twice the protein of regular yogurt. That means just 1 small serving in the morning helps you hold onto muscle, and that matters more than ever after 60. When muscle loss becomes real. But that's not all. Greek yogurt also contains probiotics, the good bacteria that help your gut work better. If you deal with bloating, nausea, or an uneasy stomach in the morning, this can help balance things out, improve digestion, and even boost your immune system during cold season. One viewer, John, left a comment on our last video. "I started eating Greek yogurt with walnuts and blueberries in the morning. After 2 weeks, my stomach felt better and I was way more alert driving to the gym." A small change, but a powerful one. And finally, berries. Strawberries, blueberries, raspberries. You can just call them what they really are. Little gems for aging well. They're small, tasty, beautiful, and they're loaded with antioxidants that fight off cell aging. Especially in the brain. You know that feeling where you walk into the kitchen and forget what you were looking for? Or you suddenly blank on someone's name? That's not just getting older, it's your brain asking for support. And berries are one of the best defenses you can put on your plate. Add a handful to your breakfast, and you're feeding your memory, your focus, and your long-term brain health. And here's something else. Berries don't just taste good, they help stabilize blood sugar and support healthy digestion. Thanks to their high vitamin C and fiber content. You don't need a big bowl, just a small handful. Maybe 5 or 6 berries is enough to make a real difference. One viewer once told me, "Every morning, my daughter and I share a bowl of oatmeal with berries. It's not just tasty, it's a moment we get to connect." That's what I always say. Food doesn't just nourish your body, it feeds your spirit too. So if you're wondering where to start, try this tomorrow. A bowl of oatmeal, a spoonful of Greek yogurt, a few fresh berries on top. That's it. No need to get fancy. But trust me, your body will notice the shift. Not in some textbook way, but in how you actually feel. Lighter, clearer, more present, day by day. And once your body gets used to starting the day with real nourishment, it'll start asking for more of the good stuff, naturally. And the next thing to focus on? High quality protein, especially if you want to stay strong, avoid muscle loss, and keep moving with confidence. Now I'm not talking about grilled steak or complicated recipes. Just two simple, powerful foods that can do a lot more than people give them credit for. First one, eggs. Eggs are one of the most accessible, complete sources of protein out there. One boiled egg gives you about 6 grams of protein, plus healthy fats and, most importantly, choline. Choline is a key nutrient that protects the brain. It helps produce acetylcholine, a neurotransmitter that supports memory and alertness. If you've ever walked into the kitchen and forgotten why, your body might just need more choline. Now, if you've heard that eggs raise cholesterol, let me clear that up. For most people, eggs do not raise bad cholesterol, and in fact, they can improve your HDL, or good cholesterol. Boiled eggs, scrambled with veggies, or even cracked into a bowl of warm oats. There are plenty of simple ways to get eggs into your morning routine without being a chef. One geriatric doctor I spoke to once said, "We had an 82-year-old patient who came home after a fall. She could barely eat anything except egg salad. After just 1 week of eggs, yogurt, and bananas, her recovery shocked even us." What you eat in the morning directly affects your body's ability to bounce back. That's not wishful thinking. That's real. The second food, cottage cheese. Unlike heavy, salty cheeses, cottage cheese is light, lower in fat, high in protein and calcium, and easy to digest. For many older adults with sensitive digestion, it's a smart, gentle option. Just half a cup of cottage cheese gives you over 13 grams of protein, more than enough to help maintain muscle, support strong bones, and keep you going without needing a large meal. Even better, it's incredibly versatile. You can pair it with bananas, strawberries, sprinkle on some flax seeds or walnuts, and just like that, you've got a delicious, nutrient-packed breakfast. One viewer named Lisa commented, "I never realized cottage cheese could be so easy to eat. I mix it with blueberries and a drizzle of honey. Now every morning I feel lighter and more energized than I used to." That's what I love about these foods. They're simple, they're quick, and you don't need to be a cook. 5 minutes is all it takes. A boiled egg from the night before, half a cup of cottage cheese from the fridge, a few berries, fresh or frozen, and just like that, you've given your brain, your muscles, your bones, and your digestion a great head start for the day. Because not all protein is created equal, and after 60, it's not just about eating more. It's about eating smarter, fueling your body with what it truly needs to stay strong, stay sharp, and stay in control. Now if protein is the foundation, the thing that helps keep you moving, balanced, and independent, then plants, especially those rich in minerals and antioxidants, are what bring life back into your nervous system, your heart, and even your mood. And among those, there are two that are incredibly simple, easy to find, and often overlooked in older adults' breakfasts: ripe bananas and seeds and nuts. Let's talk bananas first. Bananas might seem basic, but they're packed with essential nutrients. A medium banana gives you over 400 milligrams of potassium, a mineral that helps regulate blood pressure, steady your heartbeat, and reduce the risk of stroke. A lot of folks over 60 are walking around with high blood pressure and don't even know it until they feel dizzy, exhausted, or face a serious complication. But something as small as a banana in the morning? That can help keep things under control. Bananas also deliver vitamin B6, a nutrient directly tied to your brain function and mood. B6 helps produce serotonin, that feel-good, happy hormone that lifts your mood, reduces anxiety, and supports better sleep. This is why so many people who start adding bananas to their mornings say they feel more calm, more focused, and more at ease throughout the day. Another important thing about bananas? They're incredibly easy to eat. No peeling, no cooking, no upset stomach to worry about. One viewer named John once wrote, "I can't handle eggs every morning, my stomach's too sensitive. But bananas? They're always easy. I have one with a few walnuts and a cup of tea. And that's enough to start my day right." And that brings us to the final food group, nuts and seeds. You've probably heard of them: walnuts, almonds, flax seeds, chia seeds, But are you actually including them in your breakfast? These tiny powerhouses are rich in omega-3s and monounsaturated fats, which help reduce inflammation, support your heart, and protect your joints. After 60, many people start feeling aches in their knees, wrists, or lower back in the mornings, much of it caused by silent chronic inflammation. Just a small handful a day, about 10 to 15 grams, can help ease those symptoms over time. But it doesn't stop there. Nuts and seeds are packed with fiber, which helps keep digestion smooth and prevent constipation, something many older adults experience but rarely talk about. Fiber also helps regulate blood sugar, preventing those mid-morning energy crashes or dizzy spells. A quick note: stick with raw or unsalted varieties. Avoid the ones coated in sugar or heavy salt, or overly processed snack packs. Keep them in a sealed jar in the fridge, and they're ready whenever you need them. One viewer left a comment I loved. Every morning I sprinkle a little chia into my yogurt. Nothing fancy, but it keeps my stomach calm and my day on track. And I truly believe you can feel the same. Because sometimes, the biggest changes come from the smallest things. One banana, a handful of seeds. Not expensive, not complicated, just consistent, intentional, and rooted in the simple knowledge of what your body needs. You may have heard people say, as long as you eat something in the morning, you're good. But the truth is, not all breakfasts are created equal. And some seemingly harmless habits may actually be draining your health day by day, especially after age 60. Mistake number 1. Drinking coffee on an empty stomach. Sound familiar? Many people say, all I need is a cup of coffee to wake up. But when your stomach is empty, coffee can trigger excess acid production, leading to that queasy feeling, heartburn, and over time, even ulcers. Coffee also raises cortisol, the body's stress hormone. That means faster heartbeat, elevated blood pressure, and sometimes a jittery or anxious feeling you can't quite explain. If you often feel uneasy, nervous, or your heart races after your morning coffee, this may be why. Mistake number 2. Eating a breakfast that's too sweet or too low in protein. Pastries, white toast, packaged cereal, they're quick and convenient. But they cause a sugar spike and crash, leaving you tired, moody, and unfocused. But when you include protein, like eggs, Greek yogurt, or cottage cheese, you stay full longer. Your energy stays steady, and you're less likely to snack later in the day. Mistake number 3. Eating just to feel full, not to feel well. Some people rush through breakfast with a bowl of instant noodles or a leftover sandwich, thinking, better than wasting it. But if what you eat makes you feel sluggish, gives you stomach trouble, or offers little nutrition, you're not fueling your day. You're borrowing energy and creating a debt your body has to repay later. So what's the fix? It doesn't have to be complicated. A healthy breakfast can be as simple as a slice of whole grain toast, one boiled egg, a few slices of banana, or a small cup of Greek yogurt with chia seeds. That's 5 to 10 minutes of prep to avoid mistakes that take people years to recognize and reverse. And no, you don't need to be perfect tomorrow. You just need to not repeat the same mistakes today. Would you like me to turn this into a printable checklist or a visual do and don't chart for morning routines? Once you've avoided the most common breakfast mistakes, the next key is consistency, building a simple, steady morning routine that supports your health without stress or complication. Because after age 60, what your body needs most isn't drastic change. It's stability in sleep, digestion, memory, and mood. A viewer named Richard, 67, from Ohio, left this honest comment. I know I need a better breakfast. But every morning I'm lost. I open the fridge and all I see is white bread and grape jelly. What Richard said isn't rare. It's the reality for millions of older adults who live alone or don't have the time or energy to cook every morning. The solution comes down to two simple words. Prepare ahead. You don't need to cook every day. Just set aside 15 minutes on the weekend. And you can prep breakfast for 5 to 7 days. Boil a tray of eggs. Make a batch of overnight oats with chia seeds. Stack a few Greek yogurt cups with berries. Or just mix and match 3 basic combos like this. Monday to Wednesday. Greek yogurt plus a few blueberries plus walnuts. Thursday to Friday. Pre-cooked oatmeal. Just reheat, plus banana slices. Weekend. Boiled egg. Whole grain toast. Warm lemon water. Another viewer, Doris, 72, from Arizona, wrote, I don't have the energy to cook every day. So I prep 5 jars of yogurt, nuts, and fruit in the fridge. Every morning I just grab one. Takes 2 minutes. I no longer crash mid-morning like before. A new habit doesn't have to flip your whole routine. It just needs to fit gently into your current life, and be easy enough to stick with. Once your fridge is ready, you won't need to think too much. You just open the door and choose what you already prepared. Instead of asking, what should I eat tomorrow morning? You begin actively choosing better health with small steps. This isn't a diet. It's not about forcing yourself. It's a way to stay independent, clear-minded, and strong, not just today, but for years to come. Let me know if you'd like this content turned into a visual weekly breakfast planner or a printable fridge guide. We all know this. The older we get, the more sensitive our bodies become to daily choices. Skipping breakfast might mean a whole morning of fatigue. One wrong bite could send your blood sugar swinging, your mood spiraling, or just leave you with that vague, unsettling feeling of, not quite right. But here's the good news. You don't have to change everything. You don't need the pressure to become some clean eating, gym-going machine. You just need to start with one thing: breakfast. Think back to Marilyn's story. She didn't start with a total lifestyle overhaul. She simply replaced her morning coffee on an empty stomach with a small, protein-rich meal. 3 weeks later, she felt sharper, calmer, and most importantly, she felt like she had taken back control of her health. Another viewer, Joe, 66, once shared this after watching the video. I fainted in the bathroom once from low blood pressure. Since that day, I never skip breakfast. Every morning I have a banana with yogurt and some walnuts. I haven't felt this light in years. If anything here resonates with you, this is your moment to act. You don't need to do a lot, but you do need to start. Try writing down what you could eat for breakfast tomorrow. Set your alarm just 10 minutes earlier. Buy a few glass jars and prep 3 small servings in advance so you're not scrambling each morning. And if it helps, I've included a printable checklist you can stick on your fridge, as a gentle reminder. Today, I eat to live well, not just to get by. And if this video helped you, don't keep it to yourself. Sharing it once might help someone avoid a sudden fall, a silent mini stroke, or simply feel hopeful again in their own body. You may not realize it, but this morning's breakfast might be the reason you felt tired all day, foggy, unfocused, unable to concentrate on anything. It's not because of your age. It's not just from a bad night's sleep. It's because you either skipped breakfast or ate the wrong way, and that's silently dragging your health down day after day. Many people over 60 think, "I'm not hungry in the morning," or, "All I need is a cup of coffee." But after a while, they start feeling weaker, less mobile, emotionally unstable, and their memory fades. No one connects it to breakfast. But the truth is, breakfast isn't just a meal, it's the signal that reboots your entire body after sleep. And if you live alone, or have an elderly loved one, you know exactly what that morning fatigue, loss of appetite, or sluggishness feels like. This doesn't just affect physical health, it's one of the quiet causes of mild depression, muscle loss, and higher fall risk. Some people only realize it after they faint in the bathroom, or get an unexpected result from a health check. So what's the solution? You don't need to change your whole kitchen. You don't need to learn complicated cooking. You just need to restart your morning with 7 very simple foods, easy to find, easy to eat, easy to digest, and recommended by health experts for people over 60. And to show you how real the difference can be, let me tell you about Marilyn. Age 74, living in New York. She used to think 1 cup of coffee was enough to start the day. But just a few weeks after changing her morning habits, she felt like someone flipped a switch in her body. No more sluggishness, no more confusion when forgetting keys or family members' names. She said, "I never thought just changing breakfast would make me feel so clear and so happy." Marilyn's story is just one of many examples of how powerful the right breakfast can be. And today, I'm going to share it with you, not through dry theory, but through things that are simple, practical, and easy to apply, starting tomorrow morning.